welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share with you guys how to pass the NCLEX in less than 3 weeks of studying and without utilizing any formal study review course, okay? And I'm going to share with you guys the tips that I use to do just that. So if you're interested, then please keep on watching. Alright, so the very first thing you should do is to find a conducive study environment. So for me, that was my bonus room at my family's house. I had a nice little desk set up. I had a window in there so it wasn't like a dark hole. And I had all my study materials, and it was where I really went for majority of the day whenever I was studying. Now here and then I would switch it up. You can go to the library. I often went to the public library. You can also go to your university library, a coffee shop. Just find whatever location is best for you that is free of distractions and or you feel you can be the most productive and you'll want to spend majority of your day there. All right, moving right along. The 3 tools or study tools that I used was one, the NCSBN website. So they actually have review courses, which I utilize them mostly for the questions because this company is the same company that actually makes the questions that are on the NCLEX. So they're very similar to what you're going to see when you actually sit for the exam. Depending on how many weeks you want access to those questions and to the review content, that will dictate how much you pay. So it varies from $50 to $160. I paid only $50 and that gave me 3 weeks access to the study materials and to the questions, and I believe it has up to 1,500 questions. So you have a lot of opportunities to take practice questions, which is crucial to preparing for the NCLEX. It's also pretty cool because they have a variety style of questions. So you'll see anything from multiple choice to fill in the blank to audio questions to, I don't know, what else do they have? All of the above. Did I say that already? So they have every style question you can possibly imagine. You'll see on the NCLEX, and like I said, this is the same company that makes the NCLEX, so it doesn't get much better than that. The second study tool that I utilized was the SAUNDERS Comprehensive NCLEX textbook, and I really enjoyed this textbook for actually reviewing, and it's just really easy to digest the way they explain things. They have questions sprinkled out throughout the review textbook, as well as practice questions at the end of each specific topic. And at the end, they have several practice test questions. So what I did, I would say, you know, I'm going to study these 3 topics today. Do practice questions specific to those topics at the, after studying for it, and then at the end of studying all 3, I would do like a practice test or a couple practice tests. So that's the second study tool I use, and I really do recommend it. I will leave the link below for that textbook if you're interested. Alright, the third study tool that I used was the NCLEX Mastery app, which is something that you can download on your phone for free. And it's really handy because you can do several practice questions on the go. So whenever I was in transit, maybe, I had an outing with my friends, but I still kind of wanted to do practice questions on my downtime, I would literally take out my phone and then just do some practice questions, like maybe 5-10 practice questions here and there. And it's completely free, so I will link that down below as well if you're interested. Alright, so after using those 3 study tools, the way I really scheduled my study days was I would wake up, I would eat breakfast, I would try to exercise. Well, no, that's a lie. I would wake up, eat breakfast, and then I would go right into studying. So at the beginning of each week, I would have goals in mind, and I would kind of schedule what my days would look like, and at the end of each study day, depending on what I did and did not get done, I would alter my schedule for the following day. At the end of each study day, I made sure to finish around 5 p.m. That would be it for studying, and that was really for me. Take some time off. You cannot expect to be on mode 24/7 whenever you're studying for the NCLEX. You got to make sure to take care of yourself, and so for me that meant exercising after I worked out. I don't know about you guys, but I get so antsy and anxious after sitting down for so long. So the best way for me to release that anxiety was to run and to work out. And after that, I might hang out with friends, with family, anything to kind of just treat myself for a hard day of studying, and I definitely recommend that to you guys as well. The next thing I did to make sure I passed this NCLEX was I utilized a mock exam that my university offered its students through ATI, which you might be familiar with. I know a lot of nursing schools use some of the study materials from ATI throughout nursing school. Now, if you do remember, the ATI questions are very difficult, and to be quite frank, they are not similar to what you will see on the NCLEX by any means. However, if you have the opportunity to do a mock exam, I definitely recommend you to do that, because at the end it will tell you what % chance you have of passing the NCLEX based off of how you did on that mock exam. Now, in my experience when I did it, I think it was over like 200 questions if I remember correctly. And I remember taking that exam, it was like maybe a couple days before I was gonna sit for the NCLEX. And I was taking this mock exam thinking, I am screwed, I don't know anything. It was the hardest thing ever. And to my surprise, by the end of it, it said I had a 97% chance of passing. So I don't know how that happened, but a lot of my classmates said that they felt the same way after taking the mock exam. And so, long story short, it was a confidence booster. It made me feel like my studying paid off and that I was prepared for the NCLEX, despite the fact that I did not feel that way. So, like I said, if you have the opportunity to do a similar mock exam, then please do it. And if you do not have a high % chance of passing, so I would say probably anything less than 93%, then that lets you know maybe you should just study a little bit longer, postpone your NCLEX date, and review some things before you actually sit. And maybe if you have the chance, do the mock exam again. Last but certainly not least is whenever you are going to take the NCLEX the day of, just be confident in your knowledge, all the studying you did, trust that you will do well and that you studied hard enough to pass the exam. And if, like me, you get past 75 questions and there's still more questions being offered, don't freak out. That means you still have opportunity to pass the exam. So like I said, just keep focused and you will be just fine, okay? I have faith in you. So that concludes all my tips and advice for passing your NCLEX in less than 3 weeks. Of course, if you feel like you need more time than that, then please take more time. The NCLEX is not cheap and you want to pass it the first time if you can. More importantly, I wanted to give you guys tips on resources to utilize so you don't have to pay for one of those expensive review courses, like a Kaplan review course. I was contemplating taking one of those, but I decided against it, and I'm glad I did, because like I said, I passed it, I didn't need it, and you might not either if you utilize some of the tips that I mentioned in this video. So please leave any questions down below if you have them, and I'll be sure to answer them, or any comments. And please thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it, if and only if you enjoyed it, as well as subscribe to my channel and come find me on my Instagram, NurseAggz, and NurseAggz, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye bye.